Speaking of intentions, here are two questions that are buzzing in the neighborhood. Is Afghanistan trying to starve the people of Pakistan? Or is Pakistan trying to starve the people of Afghanistan? The reason behind these questions is the closure of an integral border crossing, the Torkham Border. Located along the Grand Trunk Road, it's the main border crossing between Afghanistan and Pakistan. It connects the Nangarhar province of Afghanistan with Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And reports say it's the busiest port of entry between the two countries, serving as a major transporting, shipping and receiving site. Now let me tell you what's been happening for the last 5 days. This crossing has been shut down. Thousands of trucks are stuck, businesses are suffering losses, huge losses. And the people are becoming frustrated. So what has led to this? A clash between the Taliban and the Pakistani forces. It all unfolded on Sunday. The two sides exchanged fire, leaving one border guard injured. What was the trigger? According to the Taliban, the firing started after Pakistan violated its commitments. Reports say that Islamabad had promised the Afghan government that it will allow patients to cross the border. But it recently announced a ban on the travel of Afghan patients who were seeking treatment. This irked the Taliban and led to this firing. Now, it's been over 5 days. The border remains shut. Reports say that the Taliban has now opened its side of the border, but Pakistan has not. So the border is still practically closed, and the people who use it daily are losing their patience. Especially local businessmen. They say that the closure of the border is making bilateral trade suffer. Listen in.
The border has been closed for the past 2 to 3 days because of the wrong policies of both governments. There is a huge loss to trade, again owing to bad policies from both sides. Around 20% of the trade that happens from here, import and export, is stranded. This is a loss for our country as well as for the transport system. They should make better decisions to encourage businesses and increase trade.
So what's being done to resolve the issue? Well, both sides are holding talks. On Wednesday, Pakistan's defense minister travelled all the way to Kabul. He met Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, Taliban's acting deputy prime minister. The two sides discussed tensions at this border and the many prevailing points of contention. Were they able to arrive at any kind of consensus? We're yet to find out. Interestingly, this wasn't the only issue that they discussed. There were also talks on terror and two outfits fueling it: the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, or the TTP, and the Islamic State in the Khorasan province, or the ISKP. For the last 1 year, these two outfits have carried out several deadly attacks both in Pakistan and Afghanistan. The TTP wants to topple the Pakistani state. The ISKP wants to topple the Taliban. So the two sides discuss ways to dismantle both outfits, and reports say that the Taliban even promised to strike TTP bases in Afghanistan. But will it live up to this promise? I say this because the TTP's attacks have risen in number only after August 2021. Now that's when the Taliban returned to Kabul, and before that, the TTP was a dormant organization. It was restricted to its hideouts in the hills. But ever since the Taliban's return, this terror outfit seems to have found a new lease of life. The multiple attacks on Pakistan's security forces are proof. Look at the numbers. In 2022, Pakistan witnessed a 51% rise in terror attacks, 5-1. There were at least 250 attacks this year, which killed more than 433 people and injured at least 719. Most of these attacks have been attributed to the TTP. That's not all. Last year, the TTP released a video. It showed the Tehreek's chief, Noor Wali Mehsood, visiting the northern zone, an undisclosed location in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. It showed him addressing scores of TTP supporters as a dozen armed men stood behind him. Do you know what he told the gathering? He said, the TTP is not a separate organization, but it is in fact a branch of the Afghan Taliban, which basically meant that the group is part of the new Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. This is something it had long denied. For decades, the TTP had called itself a separate and distinct outfit, not a Taliban offshoot. Nobody believed them, so it decided to drop the pretense altogether. Take a look.
Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan da de Imarat Islami shakhta hai. Deghi chatre iwa hesadu پخپل ملک او پخپل خورک شه اسلامی نظام غشتین کې وتوسا نو دغه د پر اسباب لګی شي تحریک طالبان پاکستان د امارت اسلامی یو شاخ دی دغه چاتره یو حسادو پخپل ملک او پخپل خورک شه اسلامی نظام غشتین کې وتوسا نو دغه د پر اسباب لګی شي.
You heard that the TTP is a branch of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. How then will the Taliban help Pakistan fight this terror group? Does Islamabad really expect the Taliban to take any action? Well, some leaders certainly do, like Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, Pakistan's full-time foreign minister and part-time elocution tutor. He says Kabul's inaction on the TTP is due to mixed signals from Pakistan. Mixed signal. That's what he said. My question is, can there really be any mixed signals when it comes to terror? Here you have an outfit that is waging a war against your establishment, and you're giving mixed signals to the people who can control it? How does that even work? What on earth was Bilawal Bhutto trying to convey? We don't know. And we're quite certain, neither does he. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.